Hey everyone, NWA Prepper here. Another thought on being in a group. If you're in a preparedness group, or if you're thinking about it being in a group, there's some things that are important to being part of a group. Number one, you're most likely going to need to be comfortable following orders. Oh my gosh. Yes, you have to be a follower. Not everyone can be a leader, but everyone has the capabilities to be a good follower. That's how the world should work. We should all want to be better followers. It starts with being a follower of God. That's my core belief. So if you're new to the channel and that's the first time you've heard that, it happens a lot. So you've got to be a follower of God. You need to be decent at it. You need to work at it. You need to try at it. And that has nothing to do, or very little to do, with this. But you need to be a decent follower. You can be a super follower if you want to be. You need to be willing to take direction and guidance and correction from someone else. Hopefully that is someone who at least has their best intent or your best intentions in heart. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes what you will be asked to do is not in your best interest. Sometimes what you will be asked to do is for the best interest of the group. For he who serves his fellows is of all his fellows greatest. That is from one of the wisest men that I've ever read about. I never had the pleasure to meet him. He was gone before my time. E. Erner Goodman. For he who serves his fellows is of all his fellows greatest. I say that every day. I read it every day. I think it every day. I live it every day. Am I capable of being a leader? I could be an okay one. I don't think I would suck at it, but I'm not good at it. I'm not the best at it. I am a good follower. I follow direction. I follow orders. Unless it's paperwork. So, boss, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I don't do it on purpose. You have to be willing to be in a group to follow direction, to get guidance from someone else, and move with it. So, in addition to being a good follower, you need to be willing to learn from others. There are people in your group they're going to be more knowledgeable than you, whether they are experts or not. They have more knowledge of you in cooking for groups, in sanitation, in first aid, and in managing people, in accountability for equipment, in positioning of security. There's going to be people that know more than you in your group of those things, and you need to be willing and open to learning what they have to share. Sometimes the people in your group may have similar knowledge bases. You still need to be open to them sharing what they have to share. It can make you better at what you're doing. It can make you more aware. It can give you guidance and things you can correct them with later. You also need to be willing to share what you know. If I think I'm the only person capable of doing medical care in my group, I'm a fool. And I don't think that way, by the way. There are people in my group that probably have more knowledge, I'm fidgeting, that have more knowledge than me and more capabilities than me. They just haven't shared it. If you think you're the only person that can handle the security for your group, you're also a fool. If you know more than other people, you need to be sharing and teaching and mentoring and making other people Know everything you know. Don't hold that tidbit back because, well, if I tell them this, then they'll replace me. They're more energetic than me, or they're more enthusiastic, and I will no longer be the medical guy. Don't do that. If you do that, shame on you. You need to teach and share everything you know to anyone who's willing to listen. Just like you need to be willing to listen and learn anything anyone else is willing to share with you. At the very least, that puts you guys on the same page. That makes them understand where you're coming from. That makes you understand why they do some of the things that they do or they ask you to do. Those things are life and death. Those draw you closer together. They give you common ground. They give you something not only to build a relationship on, but to build trust on. If you don't have common ground, you're not going to trust that person. They're not going to trust you. There is zero reason to hold information from people, particularly those that you have asked to be in a preparedness group with you. Because not only does everyone need to understand that you're replaceable. As important in the world as I think that I am totally and easily replaceable at any time. And so are you. You are replaceable. I don't care who you are, what you do, how awesome you are at it, you're replaceable. So be replaceable. Start training your replacement. Train them, prepare them, teach them, share with them, give them anything you can do to make yourself more replaceable. Because odds are, unless you're in a select few groups that I know, odds are whatever your mission is in your group, if you're the comms guy, which is a good one to use, if you're the comms guy in a group, there are people that don't think they can do what you can do. They don't know what you know. They don't feel comfortable doing what you do. They're completely out of their comfort zone. Those are who you need to be training. You need to find people and teach them how to make those radios squawk and how to make those antennas do the magic things that you do. Because something could happen to you. Something's going to happen to you. It's not even an if, it's just a matter of when. I am not going to be there for my family and my group someday. Either I never make it to the land, or we get out there, or something happens that I can't go to A and I've got to go to B and I'm not there with them, or somebody else is not there with me. Somebody has to know how to do what I know how to do. Somebody has to know where I have, where it's at. Don't hide the key to the lockbox for no one to know where it's at. Somebody's got to know where that's at, or they can't get to the knowledge. They can't get to the medicine because it's locked up. It doesn't need to be locked up, absolutely, but it doesn't need to be locked up where no one has somebody has to be able to get to it. We got to work together. To build a strong group, you have to be a good follower. You have to be a good listener, and you have to be a good sharer. Don't keep those things to yourself. If you're in a group that you don't feel that you can learn anything from anybody, and that you're not willing to listen to them, and they're not willing to listen to you, then you're not in a group. You're not part of that group, or that you need to be gone and find another group. Let's get ready.